Hi everyone, welcome to Psychic Consultants. This is Agatha. I want to say thank you for all your support. I really appreciate it. I especially want to say thank you to people that have donated, and to let you know that I have emailed the person that won the free reading to everyone that donated in February, and the email has the title Psychic Consultants Winner ! So keep a lookout for that. A couple of things to say about this spread. So this is the love reading for March 2016. Check out your sun, your moon, and your rising sign, because all three of those can resonate, and so I would check out all three and see which one resonates the most, and that's the one for you. Also, one thing to say is check it out. If you're watching early in the month, watch it again later in the month, because sometimes it doesn't make sense and then you don't get the messages, and then if you watch it a bit later, it makes complete sense. So I would definitely recommend that as well. So I'm going to do the kind of 4 cards representing you, 4 cards representing your love, and then the 4 in the middle of the way you kind of interact with one another. A couple of things to say. Your love can represent, it's someone that you're connected to, that you love. It could even be valid for, it makes sense in terms of a different connection with a father or parent or a sister or a brother or a friend or anything. Could be that. But it is usually some kind of love connection. If you're not in a relationship, it could be just someone you have your eye on. I do talk about, if you're single or not as well. It can flip. So sometimes whatever's happening on your row and their row, it might be the opposite. That does happen sometimes. Do like, if you enjoyed it, please. It means a lot to me. Subscribe and share with people that you think would find them helpful as well. I think they're helpful. I get a lot of feedback. If you're interested in a personal reading, details will be below. Otherwise, just lots and lots of love. Thank you very much for your support. The deck that I'm using is the Centenary Rider-Waite deck. It has a couple of extra cards, which are just extra pieces of artwork that I use because I like them and I'm guided to, and they mean a lot to me. They're great cards, so they do come up in a couple. Otherwise, I will stop talking and get on with the readings. Hi Taurus, I hope you're well. Enough chat, I think, so let's just get on with the reading. The usual reading, you on the left column, your love on the right, and the energies in the middle. The interacting energies in the middle. Okay, so this deck is it has 2 extra cards, so keep an eye out for those. So for you, we have the 4 of Wands, the 8 of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and the 6 of Wands. For your love, we have the Temperance card, the 5 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and these are the combined energies. Right, card on the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Swords. So whatever issues that have been going on, whatever problems that you've been having, whatever betrayals or whatever that's been going on, things that just make you feel pinned down, and as the card depicts, are coming to an end, because 10s are ending. So you've had enough, and when you say you've had enough, that's when it ends. That's how it works. So that's interesting. And I'm getting that that's kind of the message for the month, is that you're in control. When you want it to end, and you feel like you've had enough of anything, that's when it will end. So you are in control, don't forget that. Right, though, it doesn't look like there's anything really bad going on so far, so let's have a look. For where you're at right now, we have the Four of Wands. So this is balance and harmony and equilibrium in relationship and happiness and joy. And I feel like actually you're in a pretty good place. If you don't feel like you're in a good place, then it is up to you. As per this Ten of Swords, you've got to let go of maybe some of the betrayals and stuff in the past and just open your eyes a little wider to see what is here for you, because whatever's going on with you in terms of love, there's a huge potential here for you. So if you're not feeling as though it's going really well, this can be a marriage card, engagement card, celebration card, can indicate a moving house, moving residence. But a happy move, a good move, not forced in the wrong direction, somewhere you don't want to go. A good move. And I'm getting a lot that if you're not experiencing this, then it really is that you're just not seeing it. But whatever's going on now really is for your highest good. But hopefully you are, and hopefully you are feeling as though everything's working out and everything's going well and everything's harmonious and smooth and joyous and you're feeling joyful. Very much important. Joy is why we came here. Joy is the point of life. If anyone wants to know what the point of life is, it's joy. So this is the joy card. And it's also about structure though as well. It's not complete and utter kind of, it is structures that make you happy. Happiness. Things that you can rely upon that are good for you. So that's a really nice card to have for where you're at now. You have the Eight of Cups, so you're going on a bit of a journey in towards your love right now. I'm actually going to leave that because I feel like it's going to become more clear once I turn these cards in the middle. But there is a little bit of a yearning in you to go out towards, I feel like you're kind of ready for this. You're actually, you know what you want and you're ready to go out and get it. That's what I'm really feeling. And you were going out into the world to retrieve it for yourself, to get it for yourself. I mean, it's really good stuff going on. You've got the Ace of Wands. This is all about kind of new beginnings, creativity, fertility. A big fertility card here. Quite a lot of sexual energy as well I am feeling around this. It's just, it's really powering these two cards really, I feel. This fuel to get out there, take the action, go out in search of what you want and what you desire and what you deserve, which is this. So you're really on fire with that. The wands are fire, fiery passion. And that's what's going to fuel you. That's what's going to get you out of any of this kind of stuff, is just to ignite that passion, that fire, whatever gets you going. Like I say, whatever makes you feel joyful and excited and wanting to go and do things. That's the energy that you have. That's fueling this, taking the action towards what you want. And you will get what you want because you end up with the victory card. Riding in on your horse, victorious. That's the way that it works. It's just about focus. It's about knowing what you want, taking the journey towards it, fueling it with passion and fire, and leading you to victory. So that is your kind of main arc of the story for March for you. Simple works. It's all going to be. It's all very good. It might not be. There is a little bit of the element of the unknown here with this Eight of Cups, going off on a journey. In the card, it looks as though there's a cup missing, but there actually isn't. There are 8 cups there. So it's the next level. It's like, yes, I have everything that I need, but I want more. It's the desire to go out and find more. Usually for me it can indicate a kind of spiritual pilgrimage, because it's often when some kind of spirituality kicks in, or some kind of higher self or your life purpose kind of kicks in, that question, because you have everything but you know that there's more, so you ask those questions and you go on those journeys. That's what's definitely going on in March, and it's fueled by this passion, which is great. So your love is also in a good place, kind of mirroring you. They have the Temperance card, where you have the Four of Wands, and these are both, for me, cards of balance. So you are on the same page. This is a major arcana card, though, so it's a little bit stronger. And balance is very, very important to them right now. I feel that... So your desires are completely aligned. Your desires are completely aligned. You both want exactly the same thing. But I do feel a little bit as though you're going off in different directions in how you're going to go about that. Because you have this Eight of Cups here, that you want to kind of go out in search of it. And I get the feeling that they're going to feel a little bit kind of out in the cold, as though you're rejecting them or moving away from them. I feel a little bit like there could be some impatience here. Because the thing about this Temperance card is it's a little bit more go with the flow. And it's a little bit of a slower moving energy than this. It's a little bit less kind of get out there into the community. This is more kind of action oriented and kind of like circumstance oriented. And this is more kind of ethereal in a way. So I feel like there's a kind of at its base, a little bit of it feels like there's a bit of a mismatch, because they want to, it's a little bit as though you're leaving them behind with this journey that you're going on, and they're not kind of with you, and they feel a bit as though they are that you're leaving them out in the cold, but you're not at all. They have all these pentacles in this church here to offer, to go in and take, but they're kind of choosing not to, or they're not seeing it. So you're not doing anything wrong, so don't worry about that. They are working on building something with you, though, building something of glory with this Three of Pentacles, and they are committed to you. Definitely. But I do feel like somehow they're on a more of a practical, they're more on a practical kind of journey right now. They're kind of thinking more practically this month, and you're kind of acting upon your passion and your intuition. This is also a card of intuition. It's just you're going because you feel like you need to go, whatever area. It doesn't necessarily have to mean an actual trip, though it can. But it just means that you want to go in a different direction in search of something. And I think they feel like that doesn't make sense, because this is definitely fueled by passion, this journey that you're going on. And they feel like they're being left out in the cold. I think because it's not, like, you might be changing some practical things that have gone on in favour of following your heart and your emotions, because this is what the cups are. So you've got this kind of fire and this water going on, and they've got this earth energy. So that's interesting. But then there is some fire backed up with them, because they've got this Queen of Wands in relation to your 6 as kind of where it's going towards, what it's kind of working towards. So there could be some fire sign energy in here. Doesn't necessarily have to be a female. I am getting that they could be a fire sign, but it's interesting that they're being a bit practical. They might just be feeling a little bit vulnerable, or they're trying to balance their fire if they are a fire sign. But I'm not even sure whether you're aware of it, but they're much more focused on kind of practicalities at the moment. And then this is why they kind of feel a little bit abandoned here, by when you go off on this kind of other trip, they get a bit, they feel a bit abandoned, and as though you're leaving them. When you go off on your own, doing your own thing, they feel like you're abandoning them and leaving them out in the cold. Because they want to kind of build something. So the thing is, they want what you want. This card kind of is very related to this card. It's about building that. And so basically you both want the same thing, but you disagree in the way you're going about it, I feel, a little bit. So any disagreement, there's no kind of disagreement cards here, but any disagreement that does happen, it's just because there's a slight, there isn't actually a disagreement there, it's just the way you go about it. It's like, when you're baking a cake, there are different methods. Some people like cream the sugar and the butter, and then you add the eggs and this thing, or you can just put it all in one bowl and kind of do it that way. And that's kind of, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It doesn't really make that much difference. I mean, I don't know. Someone maybe can tell me why it makes a difference. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But it's just that essentially, it's not really, you're both baking the cake, you're both doing the same thing. So maybe just go a bit easy on it. And this is, the message is, just go do your thing. You're victorious. So trust yourself, trust your intuition. Go on that journey you want to go on, because you will be victorious. You will get what you want. So don't worry about that. Let's flip over these middle cards to see what's going on. Okay, so maybe there's a little bit of... oh, wow. Interesting. So this 3 of Swords here, I do think this is related to this 10 of Swords. So there is this kind of basis of heartbreak. There is this kind of base of heartbreak going on for the 2 of you, actually. And that's why I think this card came up, because it's basically saying it's the end of that if you want it. So it's kind of like let go of the past, I'm feeling. But this is definitely, because it's at the base, it's having a big impact. It's quite a deep energy. So this is what's impacting kind of everything. So if there's any kind of conflict. But crowning in the top of you, kind of what's available, what's above, is the above ground, is the 7 of Wands. And this is the card of standing your ground. It's that you fought to the top of the mountain. And yes, you might come up against some opposition. People, trying to take over your position, but defend your post. And this is for both of you. So the message is that if it feels as though you're going in different directions at the moment, that doesn't actually matter. If you're feeling heartbroken, use it. It's the end now, and I think that's kind of what's going on. You're like, I've had enough of this heartbreak, so I'm going to kind of focus on what I want and, go off and do it myself, kind of thing. But they don't want to come with you, so I think. So that's a little bit why you might feel a bit heartbroken, that they don't want to come with you, whichever way you think you should do it. But it's important for you to know that they do want the same thing that you do. They do want to build something with you. And the energy that they take to you is the Empress, which is, there's a lot of fertility going on here. These are the 2 fertility cards, and in the middle of them, the energy that you take to them is the 10 of Cups. Emotional fulfillment and celebration and joy. This is why this Stand Your Ground card is kind of here, because these are both good energies. You're both on track. I get the idea with this spread that what it looks like is happening is actually not what's going on at all. It's just kind of a misunderstanding. And if there is any separation going on, you've both got to go on your own journey this month and do your own thing, and it's going to get you what you want. And there's quite a lot of feminine energy going on with your love, so it's a slightly more passive energy. So maybe that might be why you're feeling, they might be not taking so much action as they have or whatever. You seem to be the one with the kind of the action going on, even though they have this building here, but this is more kind of planning than the groundwork and the planning rather than the kind of going. And I do feel like you kind of want to go, but don't worry about any perceived differences, because they're not actually there. You both want the same thing, and just sometimes we have to set each other free to go in different directions in order to find, to make our way to the same point, but in different routes. And I do feel like it is about letting go of this heartbreak, just kind of surrendering to it and allowing it to just be. That's how it kind of, disappears. But you do have a choice. It is the end now. It is the end. So this is the message, that it's ended. This is ending. So just allow it to evolve in the way that it does and focus on what you want. You both are focused on what you want. You both want the same thing. You want balance and harmony. And it's here for you. You have it. There's absolutely nothing wrong. And really good things available and happening. So just go. And I think you do feel good, though. You do feel good. So yeah, just keep going as you are, and you will be fine. And there is some kind of spirituality going on. It might feel a little bit difficult because there's some different kind of energies, because you've got quite a lot of fire kind of wand stuff going on, and this Ace of Wands is kind of it's very creative. There's a lot of creative energy here, and it's balanced with this creative energy with this Empress, but then it's kind of, this Eight of Cups is a very intuitive kind of, doesn't make sense of, it's using the passion to fuel the heart, not to fuel the mind. And I feel a little bit as though, not that there are no swords here other than this. So it's not as though they are just being very mental. It's more that they're being practical. They're thinking of practicality. So just kind of let them, because it's actually a good combination. It's actually very balanced, the practical and then the intuitive. It's kind of what you need. But you may just have to have a little bit of a play, because there may be some teething difficulties of how that can actually work. If you're single, then love is definitely coming in March with this Ace of Wands, and this, and this, and this. I mean, everything you want. So same kind of thing, just completely carry on doing what you're doing. But if you do meet someone and they do seem that they're different to you, everything still applies. That it's just on the outside it might seem different, but your goals are definitely the same. Okay, so I'm going to pull an outcome card. Okay, so Three of Wands. This is the card of kind of waiting for your ships to come in, of communication, of waiting for communication. It also, for me particularly, it is a card of expansion, but it's when the two becomes the three. So it's kind of like the third energy in a relationship. So it's like this, you and the other are these two, and then there's another one, third energy, kind of in your hand. So it's a bit like you get to create, take a bit of control of, you get something else to play with, basically. The third thing, something else is created. Relationships are a third thing that is created with two people. And maybe the message is also to nurture that, to be aware of that you're both responsible for the relationship. It's not he said, she said, he said, he said, she said, she said, whatever. You both have a relationship with the relationship. So as long as you both feed and fuel this third thing, then that's what's really important. Okay, I also want to pull a card as a little extra thing from the Tantric Dakini Oracle by Nick Douglas and Penny Slinger. Oh, whoops. That's a bit of it's a bit of a metaphysical, kind of quite in-depth, quite spiritual. Oh gosh, what's happened now? Deck, and it's very interesting. Some really interesting imagery and some interesting messages that come through. So it's quite a new one for me, which I'm kind of learning and using every now and then. So I'll use the book to divine some of the meanings. They're quite interesting, quite complex cards, and quite complex messages. Okay, so for you, Taurus. Is number 54, Asylum. And this is, I actually know what this one is. And this is a unicorn sitting in a tree. And the unicorn represents, I'll read from the book, because it is clearer. And then I'll give my little opinion. Okay, so Asylum bears the number 54, signifying the path of balance as an attribute of initiation. According to the classification by elements, this is an earth card, normally related to the suit of pentacles in the minor arcana of the traditional tarot. A unicorn nests in the boughs of a tree, which overlooks a beautiful verdant field. This is an idyllic and magical place, the fairy tale land in which the imagination, here symbolised by the unicorn, rests and takes refuge from the cares of the world. The unicorn represents truth and insight, at home in the garden of Mother Nature, feeling completely at peace. So I would take that as a little message to go out into nature and get out into the world, into different landscapes, which is connected to this Eight of Cups here. It says, find a place of refuge and recuperation, free from all worldly concerns. Believe in the powers of the imagination and take up a position of contemplation with regard to any particular question or problem. Trust in the pure potency of the intuition and you will not go astray. The card suggests a feeling of well-being when left alone, away from the worldly problems. It is a magical omen of a positive order. So it says, at the heart, the card shows that the questioner has taken refuge in the feelings and emotions, and that the inner well-being is the point of balance and the powerhouse of the body, and that inner peace is achieved through the power of faith. So yes, this is very connected to this whole spread, about you going off in search of peace, I think, of your own kind of world. This is what you want to create, and you've got the fuel for it, and you're kind of, I'm going to go off and find it myself. If you do feel like you're trying to move away from this person that you have feelings for, it's not, you're moving towards them, so it's not going to do that if you're interested. But it is also a card of intuition, that to go with your intuition and to believe in your dreams. And when it seems like they're not manifesting around you, to go out, and maybe find the perspective, be by yourself and find your perspective and connect with your intuition and back with the dream, and then everything will be cool again. All right then, so thank you very much for that. Do subscribe if you haven't subscribed so that you can get the readings as I upload them. Do share this with anyone that you think would be interested or that it would be helpful to, even if they're not into tarot, because I hope that these readings are quite practical and helpful for everyone. Otherwise, do have an incredible March. Lots and lots of love. If you would like a personal reading, the details will be below of my scheduling page that you can just go to and book. And I send you lots of love and see you again very soon.